So, guys, this is Devrat Singh again coming to you live, and this is an interview which is bought on demand and on demand of the people inside my course, the people inside my multiple Facebook groups, and they wanted to know that Devrat, you always talk about a person who is your business partner. You talk about the moral ethics that he brings on the table. You talk about the values that he provides to you in the journey of building a business. So we would like to have an interview, and a lot of people ask that can we meet him, can we know him, can we do this, and can we do that. So what I thought is any business is successful because of the two people leading it, or people leading it actually. So I bought my business partner who is not like this actually. So there is a image that I'll just post it here, and this image is the before and after of Simran due to quarantine. So he's my business partner, Simran Pal. Simran, tell us something about yourself.
Hello, guys, and thank you for the humble introduction, Devrat. I really hope people are looking forward to this interview of ours. But there's something that I want to tell you. First of all, before we continue this interview, this is the first time in my life I'm looking like this, and even my mom couldn't recognize me. So, if any of your guys actually know me, or don't know me, okay, don't be worried. Don't be worried if this is a new face, because that's not how I look. Okay, this is just the quarantine coronavirus effect on the internet marketers. Okay, so moving forward, it has been a wonderful experience working with Devrat, and personally speaking, I've learned a lot of things from his work ethics, to make it specific, his rigorous will of conquering whatever he wants, and his grit of getting things done. And that is something I always look up to him. Let's see. I believe, guys, in a business, you need to know your strengths and your weaknesses. Okay, so my strength is like, if I have to do something, I'll just get it started. But then, the number one trait of success is to be persistent. Okay, to anybody can think of going to the moon, but very few people actually happen to go there, right? So the guy who can turn the dreams into reality is the guy who is interviewing me, ironically. Okay, so yeah, Devrat. So
Again,
let's
but
start.
adding a point to your thing is you should always be coming up with that ideas to go to the moon, and that is where Simran comes into the picture. So like every meet we have, every time we meet, and it's like because of quarantine we don't meet so often, but usually we are in the same city, we are at the same place, so we meet almost like twice a week, every week. Okay, almost we try to meet like that, or we have conversations like this on Skype. One thing that I know that Simran is, from my perspective, really great at, he is a person who's always coming up with ideas. He shares the idea with me, the execution part comes over to me. But you need someone who's very good at ideations. He comes up with new ideas, new ways to do the things, and always this is I like this should be the balance of building a business. There would be a guy who should be coming up with new ideas, and there should be someone who's always eager to implement the ideas. That's how we believe in.
Definitely, definitely. It's like these are the two sides of the same coin, right? So you need to have a mix of both qualities. I think a great idea cannot succeed without an action taker, right? So it's a combination of the two of us that can make something really successful, and that is a recipe for a success. And I firmly believe in it. And like Devrat said, yeah, that's it. That's the key ingredient that we add to each other's personalities and each other's business.
Yes. Okay, so Simran, tell us something about. I know that you manage a lot of businesses. So tell something about you, your business, from where you are, and this much only. The first line.
Okay, so there are two kinds of people. Okay, one of them is l- like Devrat, work 24/7. All you need to do is you need to work 18 hours a day. You need to work more than the guy trying to kick your ass. They're always about work hard, work hard, work hard, work hard. I happen to be absolutely opposite of that. Okay, so I happen to be the guy who finds the quickest way of getting a job done. Okay, so this gives me the liberty of of pursuing my dreams other than the work as well, like my personal dreams. Okay,
What are your personal dreams?
personal dreams. I want to be the best snooker player in the world, and right now I'm not even the best in my locality.
And you want to be best piano player as well?
uh, that comes secondary after I earn a lot of money, so that's a very secondary thing. But yeah, I love playing that. So my primary is to become a successful snooker player. Those of you who know snooker, it's a wonderful game. Anyways, coming back to what was your question again? How?
You said about there are two kinds of people, one who like to work hard and secondly
Yeah.
one
So
who like
I
to...
happen to be the one. I always happen to be the one that who used to find the quickest pathway to, let's say, earn money or to get a job done. Okay, so the when I started with, like, usually how all the internet marketers do is how to earn money online. That's what I googled on the internet. Okay, so obviously all the links that you find on the top, 99% of them are making money out of you rather than you finally being able to make money out of them. Okay, so if you're taking that path, don't do that. So when I look for how to make money online, okay, I figured out that there people are making money through softwares. Okay, then I tried to Google, okay, if these are the softwares that are making money, which is the current software that made, let's say, $100,000 in the past 7 days? I started Googling that. I got to know about a website called JVZoo.
Mhm.
Okay, it's not the best of best affiliate marketing website, but that's how, at the age of 22 or 23, first time getting into internet marketing, that's what I found out first, and it was like I just cherry picked it. Okay, but it turned out it was a great pick. So the moment I found that out, I did a search on the top selling products of JVZoo. Okay, the moment I got a list of top 10 products, first I found that number one, I found the softwares that have made more than $100,000 in last 7 days. That was my first search. Second search was how to I found out about JVZoo, top sellers of JVZoo. Third search was I figured out the name of every individual that has sold the maximum amount of softwares, and that has made the maximum amount of money. And that's how I knew that these are the guys I want to go after. So I blindly started sending them friend requests. The moment two of them, accepted my friend request, I used to start scraping all their friends and start sending friends to them. So, so once I had a huge list, okay, I had a huge list because what I used to do was, let's say there are two friends, there are five internet marketer people are my friends now. Okay, now if you take out the intersection of all the people that are common in those five friends, that is how I know this is also an important guy. So for example, if Devrat knows Saurav, me, Reshu, and all other Indian marketers, I know he's a guy who is interested in internet marketing. So that's how I started. And then I started messaging everyone, I'm gonna work for you for free. Just give me a chance. Okay. And out of 100 messages, I think two people gave me a chance, and that's how my journey started. And that's how I made my first dollar. So
So what you do actually, and the two companies that you are a part of.
okay, my basic thing is, first I'll tell you, I identify the key ingredients, the key strengths of my company. Okay, let's talk about my software company. Okay, we know that we are not great at marketing.
Mhm.
Okay, we know that that is not our core strength as of now, but our core strength is development. We can develop the best products in the world.
Mhm.
Now, I look for people that are best in the industry, who are doing extremely well in the marketing section.
Mhm.
For example, my last launch was with Paul Pona. He's the best in the software industry at the moment. Okay, a great guy, and I messaged him like, this is the service that I can provide. I can come up with the idea, and let's collaborate. So my core job is to formulate an idea. Okay, look for the best people who can actually turn that idea into a money making machine, and that's what I do. I'm the middleman between two great ends of the road, and it acts like a bridge. So, but that bridge is the one of the core ingredients of the whole thing. If the bridge is not there, the two roads will never meet.
Okay, Simran, this question is something that I just came up with my mind. Is just with a random figure, how much? Okay, so the name of the software company that Simran manages is Dream Big Tech Ventures, and how many employees are there in Dream Big Tech Ventures, and what's the total revenue? I am laughing for a specific reason. You guys will know that.
Okay, so currently I have one employee, okay, who does my support work. Okay, other than that, one, I think that's about it. There's just one employee, and then another partner of mine who does the software, and that's about it. And I believe we made around something around 120 to $150,000 in the last 3 months.
No, I'm not talking about in the last few months. We made around $130,000. That I know. But what about the total what we made from the journey of in 2013 starting when Dream Big Tech Ventures was actually into formation till now in 2020?
Okay, if we talk about, are you talking about the gross revenue?
Gross revenue.
Okay, if we talk about the gross revenue that my products must have made must be around $5 million.
Yeah,
That's but it all comes down to how much money you are making in the end.
You are making a hell lot of.
Yeah, it's a good amount of money if we see it from the Indian perspective.
Mm-hmm.
Even from the US perspective, it's a decent amount of money, but there are there are miles to go before we sleep. So that's not.
Okay, so I'll be explaining this thing in a very short manner. Is like Simran is very good at outsourcing. Not only good at outsourcing, but he's good at identifying the right talent to do the things. And one story that I actually knew, and it is a story that I always think in my mind when thinking of a very big business to build in future, is that if you don't have any skill, partner up with someone who has great skill. So Simran is not good at coding, though he runs a software company. He's not good at coding. He's not good at.
I can't even. I'm. Although I'm a software engineer, I can't even display "Hello World" on the screen. I'm not proud of it. But it's a sad reality. But
Again, like when it comes to bit line of coding, I can do coding better than Simran because I know the API and the webhooks and other integration. But
although I won't agree to this, but there you go.
So Simran was the last guy onto a result. Okay, so whenever the results are out in his college, he was the last guy on the list. But you know with whom Simran partnered up with? He partnered up with the guy who was always on the first. So
I studied from Manipal Institute of Technology. It's called MIT. I just wish it was Massachusetts, but it's not. So it was Manipal Institute of Technology. Okay, so but it's a good college. It's a good college in India. It's a very renowned college, and I happen to be the guy, the backbencher, and who was never on time, who was kind of despised by my teachers for not studying, and always with the low grades. But guess what? I knew all the toppers. I knew these are the guys who'll do something in life, and these are my buddies. These are my bros. So that's exactly what I did. So the guy who topped the college, who was ranked number one amongst 2 to 3 thousand people, was eventually my partner and still is my partner. So
yes,
yeah, that's how
he's again partner in our business as well. The businesses that we have built around.
Yeah. So, like my partner Shabazz is in coding, this guy is in Devrat is in regards to getting work done, right? So
Again,
I think I made the right decision. I just hope so.
so we just discussed about our third partner into the business, about Shabazz, that how he was the best, and right now he's in working in Microsoft US, and we both are still in India at the same place at a very behind locality called Virar, not even in Mumbai. So again, with that being said, Simran, what is the one thing that you think that if anyone who's about to build a software, okay, who's thinking actually to get into the software creation industry, should have that three main qualities that he needs to have? Coding, you could take, I think so. Coding would be the one quality, but again, I want to know the qualities that anyone needs to have when going into the software industry.
Let me tell you about the qualities that you need in order to succeed in any business. It's the same in software as well. Number one quality is, Devrat, you need to believe in yourself. Okay, when you are doing your own business, okay, like right now, when you see me, it's not always an uphill journey.
Mm-hmm.
There are downfalls. There are downfalls, and it's even worse than doing a job somewhere where you are, guaranteed that you're gonna get money. You have to live. You have to sweep the floor. You have to be ready for the meetings. You have to always be the one who is cheering up the other people, and it's not easy. It's a lonely road. Entrepreneurship is a lonely road. Okay, so first and foremost thing that you need to do is you need to believe in yourself. Okay, and once you start doing that, because no matter how much talent you have, if you do not believe, you can't go about it. Second thing what you need to have is you need to be a hustler. You need to know how to figure out things. Okay, once you know, okay, when I say you need to know how to figure out things, that doesn't mean you need to be great at everything. But knowing what you're good at and knowing what you're bad at is also a part of figuring out things, and that is a very important part. Like, for example, I do not try to be good at coding. Even if I try, I won't be even 10% of what my partner is right now, right? So third quality is one should focus on the strengths. A lot of times I've seen people, trying to work on their weaknesses because they think that this is what they need for business. Don't do that. Don't try to work on your weakness at the moment. Try to work on your strengths. Okay, and delegate your weaknesses. When I say that don't work on your weaknesses, I do not mean that you completely ignore that part of the work. But what you need to do is you need to delegate your weaknesses to somebody else and keep working on your strengths. Because there are two differences, that key differences that I'm gonna tell you and tell everyone that I meet. That if you work on your weaknesses, then also you have high chances of succeeding. I'm not saying you won't succeed, but the graph of success will be like this. Okay, it's going upward. That's good, but it's a slow progress. But when you're working on your strengths, the graph will be an exponential growth. And you only got one life. I am a firm believer success loves speed. Okay, and you need to, if you work on your strength, and that's what you want to be. Even Bruce Lee said, I'm not afraid of the guy who knows all the actions, or all the what do we say, all the kicks of the karate. Okay, I'm afraid of the guy who has practiced one kick a
And
million times,
yes.
right? So you need to sharpen your strength. That's what I would suggest. So number one, believe in yourself. Number two, be a hustler. Learn to figure out things. Learn to know what you're good at and what you're bad at. And number three, delegate. Work on your strengths and delegate your weaknesses or your bad qualities.
Okay, but again, people would
Number four.
yes.
Have a great sense of humor like me. and look like me. You'll be looking more intelligent and homeless. Nobody will ever think you are a millionaire and treat you normal.
See, we both are like a really simplest person, even though like it is a quite fascinating story. So I was in Chandigarh, and Simran belongs from Chandigarh actually. So I was in Chandigarh, and we were just it was late at night, and we were just going around and just exploring the city because I was there, so he wanted me to explore the city. And we were supposed to eat momos, and the total cash that we all had was less than 30 rupees. The cost of that momos was 50 rupees, and we all started searching for our pockets and from wherever we get money. It was not about how much we hold, because at that moment of time we all were running ads. Simran's launch was going on, and I was doing a lot of scaling part and things like that. So in our case, it is like even though we have, according to my age and according to Simran's age, whatever we have achieved is more than like a percentage of people that we want to compare with. But we are never like oh, we have achieved so much, and we are almost the simplest guy. So maybe the fifth learning that I would be is always be humble and always be simple. That might be my fifth learning that I would give to you guys, is that just learn to be humble. And when you are humble and when you're just happy with the things that you already have, no matter what, you'll always get success.
I, I'll teach you something, Devrat, and whoever is watching it. So I'll tell you a trait of mine that I learned from my father. Okay, when I talk to, let's say, any auto driver or a rickshaw wala, or somebody who is at the gate,
Mhm.
okay, who's what do we call him? Gatekeeper in India, as we call him. Okay, so I always address him as sir.
Yes, I know that.
Okay, and whenever I'm talking to somebody who's, let's say, of a very high stature, I call them as hi buddy, hi bro, or refer them as an equal of mine. It's not about equal, it's not about humble, it's about how the other person perceives the definition of respect. Okay, so how can you make the other person feel special, right? So if you tell somebody, if somebody comes to you, oh, you, for example, you are, let's say, right now you guys are watching me. If you tell somebody, okay, I just had an amazing experience of going to Shimla, and the weather was awesome, and then there is a dickhead who comes up and says, oh, I just went to Leh Ladakh, Shimla is nothing.
Mhm.
So uh, it, you won't have high respect for him, or you won't be like, oh, this guy is great. But you will have high respect for someone who has been to Leh Ladakh. However, he doesn't kill your moment and respects you and listens to you, right? So you need to see at what level, what the other person is demanding, what sort of respect he's demanding. So the people who are of economically lower stature, they kind of feel very special when we address them as sir or ma'am rather than uncle and auntie, right? Or in India, we refer as bhaiya idhar aana. Uh, in Punjab, it's offensive, to be very frank. It's sad, but it doesn't matter. But still, you need to give them respect. That's the point. So when you're saying more than humbleness, it's about showing empathy towards the other person and giving them the respect that you would want them to give us.
Yes, surely, surely. Something this is.
I never thought this interview would go in this direction, but it's okay.
Okay. So, what is your biggest success? Okay. And what's your biggest downfall in life? Two things: the biggest success and the biggest downfall.
Okay. There are two moments that come in my mind. Okay, so biggest success was when I didn't have any money in my pockets. I just came up with an idea of the idea was of creating a Fiverr-like website for Indian people. It was known as Quarter K, a quarter of 1,000. That's 250 rupees. You can get everything. although it was a complete rip-off. I mean, from Fiverr, but it was new in India. So I'm talking about back in, I think, 2013-ish.
13, yeah.
Yeah. So my biggest moment would have been I was I was thinking about my idea in a coffee shop, and there happened to be a guy who was listening to it, and he was like, uh, "I'm interested in this, and what if I give you I'll give you 50,000 rupees for 50%." So I was like, I'm not selling rice over here. It's my dream, and it's my, it's what I want to build. And then he called me for the, he called me in his office the next day to present him his idea. And the next day I went to him and he told me he's ready to give me 25 lakh rupees. That moment, that happiness of, somebody believing in you, even though that project was a complete failure, the money was not going in my pocket, but the sense of turning the belief into reality, uh, and somebody actually showing the faith in you, that was a moment of success for me. And the next moment that I also remember is I was in a bank, okay, and I was trying to get a loan for a car for my mom. I wanted to gift her I wanted to gift her a car. So I was like, I was giving her a Swift, okay, and the guy was speaking in a very harsh tone. Okay, he was like, "Fill it quickly. Why have you not done this? Why? What are you doing?" So he said all that in Hindi, and I was like, after 2 minutes, I was like, "Take this paper, tell your boss that I'm not buying the car from you because you are a rude bastard." I didn't say bastard. I just want to say it now. but you're a rude person, and here is the money. I signed the check and I gave it to the banker. This is your 5,50,000 rupees. Uh, let's get the DD done, and let me get my car right now. So, and I gifted that car to my mom. No matter how much money I earn, these were the two moments of my life that I feel that deeply connect to me beyond the monetary aspect of life. So yeah, these are the 2 points of successes. Low points, uh, man, there are many. But if you are talking in professional life,
Your professional life, the biggest downfall.
biggest downfall was uh, I was living in Manipal, and like all college students, I was broke. And there is a point at which you can ask your money from your parents. My parents have been a wonderful, wonderful support to me. At the same time, there comes a point in life when you're like, no, now I don't want to take money from them. It's okay. Even if they have it, I live by my own. And there was a time when I didn't have anything to eat. For 3 months, I didn't have electricity in my house. 3 months, I was straight out of electricity. I used to go back home at night just to sleep because it was so much warm. It was so much heat over there at that particular time, and there was no electricity. You can't see anything. So those 3 months were very rough for me. Although that's nothing compared to what people go through. I don't want to belittle anybody's hardships, but in comparison to what I have been through financially, those were the like rough time. And I, out of those 3 months, I remember one particular day when there were three people in my house. Okay, me, my brother, and another friend of mine. And this story I've never told anyone, to be honest. So I had 50 rupees with me, and I hadn't eaten since last night, and it was already evening. Okay, so I was damn hungry. But how can you be a person who just goes out and eats for that 50 rupees and not, think about the people that are at home and who are at a similar situation? So what I did was I did an interesting thing. So there is what do you say? Uh, what I did was I took that 50 rupees, went to a pool parlor. I kept those 50 rupees over there on the table. I'm like, I'm ready to play with anyone. This is my money. I'll play one game.
Mhm.
Okay. And I played with him. I won. I won 100 rupees. Then I was like, I'm keeping 100 rupees more. Anybody who wants to play, these are my 100 rupees. Take it or give me 100 back. He's like, okay. I won that match again, thankfully, and I ran from there. Straight went to you know, a, what do you say, restaurant, and bought myself hell load of food and went back home and ate that. So and slept with a filled stomach. So that was sort of the lowest point in my life. Although even in those low times, I believe I was happy. I believe it's not like I was sad. It's just I knew this is part of the game. So, uh, David, there is one thing I want to tell you, and to all the people, if you're going through the low times in your life, just keep in mind one thing: you only enjoy the highs when you have been through the lows, right? So you can't enjoy the high time unless you have been through rough patches. So it's just part of the game, man.
Okay. Okay. So, as you said, you started your journey with JV Zoo and platforms like this. Okay. What would be the suggestion for someone who's entering into JV Zoo industry, who's entering into the knowledge industry at this point of time? And maybe what would be the even you know about a lot of software models, the different ways software sells and things like that. So would you like to explain something about like just going deep into the software industry while sharing the knowledge that you have gained the last few years?
Okay, the number one suggestion would be, don't just jump in. Although I'm a strict believer in action taker, okay, I would still suggest you are at a very naive stage of business. Naive in the sense of you are at a very a wrong turn. Like, I would give another anecdote. Let's say, if I close my eyes and somebody spins me around and I have a dart in my hand, no matter how many times I try to hit the inner circle, I will never hit the bullseye because I am aiming at the wrong direction, right? So your direction matters even more than your action. First, you need to gather some knowledge as to what direction you want to take. Put the action into choosing that direction. Okay, that is the biggest advice I'll give. So don't just straight away jump into JVZoo. Read a book or two about SaaS business. I would recommend reading The Automatic Customer. It's a great book. Okay,
Can you please spell it again, name it again?
The Automatic Customer.
Okay.
Okay, so if you Google it, you'll find it out. It's a great book about subscriptions. So I would suggest rather than JVZoo, build a SaaS business. That's what I am. I'm putting my word where my mouth. I'm putting my mouth where my money is. So that's where I am leading towards, and that's what I would suggest anybody new, coming up and pursuing that path. Yeah. So
Okay, so what are the different business models around softwares only that you know and that you like to share around with people? And what's your favorite one? I know what's your favorite one, but the audience want to know what's your favorite business model and what are the different models in the industry?
okay. Uh, these are two questions. Let me address them one by one.
Yes.
Okay. Number one, I'll address the part where you said what are the different models of selling softwares, right? So the number one thing is the LTDs, lifetime deals. You now in the LTDs, what you do is you put your software in an affiliate site like JVSU or ClickBank or Warrior Plus. There are many multiple sites like this, right? In uh, different local languages and all that. Uh, you put your software over there and you make your sales pages and you try to sell it at a one-time price. You try to launch it for a period of 5 days or 7 days or whatever. So that is one model that has made me a lot of money. At the same time, that is not something that I would suggest a beginner to do. the software model that I would suggest a beginner to do is the one where you build a company and not just a product. The difference is when in the JVZoo world, once you deliver the software, once your software is live and the customers come in, they have come in for a lifetime. They are there for the lifetime. Okay, the incentive for you as a software owner or a software, the one who's running the show, gets lesser and lesser as the time passes, because there has to be a give and take relationship between a customer and the owner of the software, the businessman, right? But once you have taken their money, obviously you are obligated towards them. I'm not saying you just leave them on the midway, but the interest loses with time, and that's human nature. Okay, I don't think we can debate on that topic. But on the other hand, if you're building a business where you're taking money every single month, obviously you need to be providing certain amount of continuous value for that, but your interest remains intact. And when your interest remains intact, it becomes a win-win situation for both the customer and yourself, because you'll be giving your 100% towards making them happy and making the product better. So these are the two models that are mainly prevalent in today's time. And
Like
the other,
it's
uh,
subscription based.
yeah,
Like monthly
LTVs,
and subscription.
and subscription based. Another thing that I personally do is let's say how do I explain it? I take a different shade of lipstick and put it over my software. Like, what I mean is, I take the same software, put a different UI, and release it in another market. That,
Repackaging the software. Maybe.
yeah, that is one way of making more money with the technology you already have. But let's say, for example, I'll try to clarify this point. For example, I have Vidi's software in the JVZoo market. I might have a similar sushi video software in German market. What it does is it's exactly the same, but the two categories of people are totally different. Okay, even the price of it is different, because it's like you are doing an arbitrage, right? The price of two different things can be different at different places. I mean, even the same things can be different at different places. It depends on the market, how the market takes the perceived value of it.
Okay. So
I hope I'm not that boring that every one of you are sleeping like Devrat. I just
no,
hope
no,
that's not.
I got up very early as this has
I,
become
I don't care. I don't care.
like this happen with between us every single time. And but again, it's like a very good relationship over time, and something that we actually learn from both of each other. We learn something or the other every single day. And maybe just to brief out the points in very simple line, the three models that Simran actually discussed. One is actually the LDD model, okay, where you pay money to the software for once and you get that software for lifetime. That has some pros and cons that Simran obviously discussed. The second is a subscription based model where a lot of energy goes in, a lot of your focus goes in, but end of the day, you come up with a really great product that's suitable for your customer and for which you charge money every single month. The third and the last type of the model that is Simran specific model is repackaging of the software, repackaging the technology with new UI, new X, new feel, new design, and launching it into some other markets with a different perceived value and things like that.
That's not something I'm too proud of, but that's what makes
That's
money.
business.
That's
That's
what makes
business.
money. That's a business model, right? So yeah. But like I said, uh, you should start with first choosing your direction, right? So now I realize, let's say, how important. Let's say if I go back to my life, if I see it in retrospect, it was to choose engineering or accounting was an important decision of my life. I shouldn't have chosen engineering just because my crush was taking engineering. So, choosing the direction of your career is as important. You need to basically you're investing your time, and that's the only commodity that you cannot earn back, right? So you should value it even more than money, because you can earn that back. Time you cannot.
Yes, yes, yes. Obviously. So that's pretty much it for helping you to understand the software industry. And the big thing that you realized is big revenues can come easily when you have someone and when you really trust someone. Like I could tell you that Shahbaz is the only member who does all the coding for all these softwares. He creates the software from scratch and he takes it to the next level. Shahbaz is the same guy we discussed, like the third partner in our video, and it's all about believing in people, and that's what Simran has done during time. And with 3 people team, okay, a team of 3 people can achieve a 5 million gross revenue with around a million. I think so. We made around a million in profits, above or below, somewhere like that. Overall in the journey, a million or close to above or below in profits.
Sort of. I wouldn't want to disclose the exact figures,
Yeah.
but
But he's paying the taxes every month. Don't worry.
we made, let's put it this way, that we made a decent amount of money.
Yes. So that's pretty much it. And they were a major takeaways. And this were from a perspective of we being into the LTD industry. If you want to go into the subscription based industry, Simran loves to talk about the thing. So, Simran, what's your Skype ID?
By the way, if there is anyone who loves to hustle and who loves to learn about something, and wants to contribute in return,
Hmm.
you can contact me on Skype. My Skype ID is simran.pall, simran.pall. Just let me know how you got the contact, and drop in your comments. And if you want to work together with me, and if you see that I can help you in your growth and you can contribute in return, like I said, I would love to listen and love to have a chat.
Yeah, he loves to have chat with people, and that's his core thing. Okay, like because of he having a chat with a lot of guys, we get a lot of business. So whenever it comes to having like things like okay, there's a long discussion that needs to happen. Simran, you take care. I'll take care of the final delivery of the project. You just handle the person, and he's really good at that.
I love making friends. That's the, you know,
Wait, this is again a very great question. So, how many friends you have from how many countries? Just a random figure, okay? Just being very random.
see, I'll tell you, when you ask how many friends you have, it's not about how many Facebook friends I have. And,
No, it's only about people you are connected from around the world.
I'm connected to a lot of people.
Yes,
The point is not about how many, the point is about the quality and connection.
yes, it's really good one.
Uh, Honestly, I'm a little picky while making my friends, but what I do feel is I can break people's walls easily.
Mm,
They'll express themselves in a more open manner, and I can look deeper into them, and because of the compassion or empathy that I show towards them when I talk to them. And that has to come genuinely. You can't fake empathy, right? You need to feel other people and pain or sorrow or joy, whatever they're feeling, and react accordingly. Okay, so I would just say, I do have a couple of friends, but it's more about the connection,
connections.
the level at which the friendship is.
And maybe I would be like to answer this that he has friends from around the world. From around the world, like if you talk about any specific country that you need someone to contact with, just reach out to Simran. He has friends from around the world, mostly from every country possible. So a lot of learnings from this video. Hope you guys like this interview, and we have more interviews in the series. So just check out the playlist below to have a look over all the interviews that we covered with a lot of internet marketers. And Simran, any final notes?
I just hope I'm the best amongst you all.
Yes, probably. Probably according to my ratings. So go there, go in the comments. Let us know from the rating of 1 to 10 how good was this interview with Simran. Again, if there's bad interview, you know what would happen. So Go ahead, guys. Let me know the things, and we'll be looking for sure to watch more videos. And you could find this video also in the resources section of the membership tab. Thank you.
Bye bye, guys. Cheers.